Hi, I'm Maki, and I'm super excited because I am, this is the very first video. This is Welcome to My Kitchen. And I've got my friend Jason behind the camera, and we're partnering up today to do real-time making some healthy food. And I'm going to take you through the exact process with starting with nothing, because you can see there's nothing out on my kitchen counters, and in my fridge I don't have what I need to make what we're going to today, which is kale salad and fresh coconut. Two things that are basic to my healthy lifestyle, and they're simple, super quick, so we're going to video that, and it's going to start with a trip to the grocery store. Okay, so we're in front of Healthy and Happy Living Store. For those of you in Vancouver, it's on Granville Street, and we're gonna go in now and get what we need for our ingredients. So let's go, Jason. Looks really good. You can tell good kale because it's not limp, and often you can look on the bottom and see if it's all brown, then it's been cut too long. So this stuff looks great. See, it's really stiff and it's freshly cut and there's no bugs on it. So I like it. I'm gonna grab that. And what else am I gonna get? This is all organic, by the way, so I usually grab for things further down under the pile. That's another trick. Produce people want to hide the fresh stuff underneath. So I've got parsley, I have celery at home, and I have no carrots, so I'm going to buy a bag of organic carrots. Fresh carrots are generally, when they're split like that, they're not as fresh. See that? Maybe not. But I'm just going to grab these anyway because I need some carrots. So, bag of organic carrots. Okay. What else do I need? I got peppers, organic carrots, green onions, kale salad. It really doesn't matter what you put in it. The whole point today really is to show you what to do to get from a tough thing like this that's kind of bitter and not washed to a dish that's ready to eat, and you can add whatever you want. So, good enough. Okay, so welcome. We're back in my kitchen. I'm going to try to slow the pace down a little bit, but take a look over here. This is everything we just got, and I just quickly laid it out, so I'm going to show you. Bunch of kale straight from the store. Here's how I clean it. Super simple. Water in the sink, and I just go like this. Take out a couple. This is a really tight bunch, so it's a little tougher to do, but I'll just grab it like this in a handful, throw it in, and then I just, I find that when you wash things in a bowl of water or a sink full of water, it's a lot easier than doing each one individually and going like that. And if there's a little bit of mud or bugs in there, it's okay. That's why I check it before I buy it, because this particular kind of kale, because of all the little edges and ridges, etc., sometimes you get aphids, but this batch was pretty clean. So that's it. That's washed, so I rinse it once in there, and then you can see the water's dirty. I just quickly give it another rinse like that, and then I gave it a couple of shakes. So that's it. So here I've just picked out the kale, I washed it, and what do? Come on over here so you can see me a little bit better. Is the angle okay? Because I could move there. Yeah. You're just going to cut off the ends. I'm pretty generous with how I chop stuff because I don't consider any of this stuff to go to waste. It's all going to go back to the earth. Now here's the thing with kale. You have a choice. You can keep the stem or you can devein it, right? This stuff is easy to devein. So I just put it on its side like this, and then I just cut it right along where the leaves are. You can keep that for smoothies or whatever or not, but this is probably the best way to avoid having a super rough salad. And something like that, I mean, I wouldn't bother to devein that, right? But that's basically it. In another video, I'll show you how to actually store this stuff, but right now I just want to make the dish. And another way, when it's really wet like this, you want to give it a nice little pat so it's not too sopping wet, because nobody wants a watery salad. So that's done. This is all I'm going to use. I might add a bit more in a couple of minutes, but first off, we'll go over here. So I'm just going to chop it up. So here's a big vein. I got to remove that one. Done. Okay. All right. So This setup is not how I typically cook, but I've used it today just to, for the purpose of this video. And we're just gonna give it a little chop up. You can do this all by hand as well, just give it a little tear. This is the big salad mixing bowl. Make sure you don't have like huge pieces. So, see how much kale's in there right now? Not a lot. And because what we're going to do is massage it to make it softer, that's going to go down, the volume is going to drop significantly, so I'm going to add some more real quick. I feel like I'm on the race to make the fastest kale salad. Here's another way, if you don't want to chop and you don't want to use a knife, you can just do it with your hands. That's always super fast. Just go like this. It doesn't really matter what size this comes in because we're going to massage it, which makes it all soft. So I'm just going to work with that. Okay, here's the biggest trick on what to do with kale is soften it, which is olive oil and a little bit of salt. You don't even need the salt, but here's our bowl of kale. See how it's all rigid? I'm just going to pour in some olive oil. And then you gotta use your hands. There's no way around this. Just get in there and you massage it like this. And Jason, can you actually go right into the bowl? Because I want people to see that the volume of kale that was in there turns basically down into, you probably get like half the volume. And you'll feel it soften up. And I didn't put any salt in this. You don't need the salt. So there, see how it's, and it turns bright dark green. A really beautiful color. It's kind of like it's been cooked already. So that's it. That is, I kid you not, the basis of a good kale salad. It is the trick to make it work. I'll wash this. And I'm also going to put in some parsley today. So same thing, bowl of water. So I'm going to use what I'm actually going to put in this kale salad. Handful of parsley. That's garbage. I might as well bring it over here to chop it. Okay. Another tip for really good salad making is that everything's kind of uniformly cut. You know, if things are really big chunks, then A, it's hard to eat, and B, your flavors don't get into your ingredients. So you do want things to be kind of cut fairly in small chunks, I guess. I don't know. I don't have the right lingo, but you can see what it looks like. That's what makes a good salad, honestly, is that everything's kind of uniform. So, there we go. Jason.
You did cheat.
I did cheat. Because I figure people know how to do this. And I got some carrots, which I'm going to peel. Again, for the sake of time, I'm just going to peel one. So what I do is I just have everything in one sink like this. And I'll just collect it all later for compost. And I learned from my friend who lives in an apartment who composts. I get to throw mine outside in my bin in my house. But if you're in an apartment, then you can apparently put it all in a bag and put it in your freezer so the fruit flies don't have a party.
That's what I do.
Is that what Jason does that? All right.
We have composting at my building, so I do that and take it out every week.
You actually put it in your freezer?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see what I'm about to do is these are pretty same size. Oops, right? This is a bit wider, so I'm going to cut it in half. And then it all gets chopped up together. So it's that same, it's a principle, which is cut stuff, so it's pretty uniform. And the more you do this, the better you get at it, the faster you get at it. And carrots, I could cut carrots, but they tend to roll off the cutting board, so I'm just going to grate them. So, what do you think, Jason? Do you have any questions?
Smells really good.
Do you have any questions? Am I like saying or doing anything that is
No, it's all good.
Okay. This isn't the easiest or the prettiest presentation, and that's exactly how I want it to be because in real life, this is how it's done. I don't have everything all washed and chopped in pretty bowls, and you know, it's like you saw me go to the store and grab it, right? So it comes down to this size and I just eat it.
That's what I do. This thing's heavy.
Here's how I get into a pepper. I just cut the end and then I crack it open. It tends to break on the own. I shouldn't talk and eat. You do want to invest in keeping your knife sharp. With anything, good tools matter. And in the kitchen, dull knives not only waste your time, but they can actually get you injured. So, with this salad, I'm going to dice it today. I could have made these into smaller slivers, but I decided to dice. So, you want to see what the bowl looks like right now, Jason? So it's a bit of a skill to get used to handling your knife so that everything kind of cuts into, you know, uniform pieces. But that's basically it. That's your kale salad done. And I'm going to deal with cleanup after. But to flavor this, all you need is, so here we go, doesn't that look beautiful? Mm-hmm. The olive oil's already in there. Okay, pantry basics. Go out and get yourself Bragg's all-purpose liquid soy seasoning. This stuff is instant salad dressing. Not by itself. Get this. What this bottle holds is a mix of olive oil and the Bragg's. So I'll just take one of the bottles and as it starts to go down. But basically, if you mix olive oil and Bragg's, that's salad dressing. So this is pre-mixed, half and half. And then I go like this. And that's about it. Lemons are always great. Key to a salad dressing. Do you know what the key to a salad dressing is?
Lemons?
You should always have a fat, a salty source, and kind of an acid vinegar. Okay. So this is the vinegar, okay? So I'm just going to squeeze that in here. And then I'm going to taste it, and then I'll add a little bit of sea salt if I need it. But otherwise, we're done. The key to making things really quick is to not use utensils. Use your hands. Seriously. Okay, look, isn't that looking awesome?
Looks very good.
It looks good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing, for all of you, if there's anybody, well, Asian people and non-Asians, I find one thing that's really good for your kitchen is chopsticks. If you can use these, this is a great way to taste test anything. I find forks are a little hard, but I find chopsticks are easy. So I'm just going to taste this right now and see how it is. I want a bit more salt in it. Do you want to taste it, Jason? No, I'm not gonna let you taste it. Actually, I'm gonna flavor it. So, what I have right here is sea salt. There's a certain kind I get, but what I'm doing is it's coarse salt. I just buy coarse salt that's got brine in it, so it's kind of wet. See that? Can you see that it's a little wet looking? It's basically just salt water that's been dried, and you can grind it up, you know, in advance and then just store it. But there's something fun about doing this. And you can put in your own herbs as well. But anyway, so there's the salt. I'm just going to put it again. So I use my hands. I really believe that good cooking and good food is getting right into it. That's a lot better, but I want more Bragg's in it. So this is how I make food. You know, you just got to taste it and go, okay. I want it a little bit saltier, a little bit sweeter. Or sweeter in this case you're not going to get, because sweeter would be like chopping in apples, right? But today we're not going to do that. Okay. So, confession on camera. I told you this was pre-blended. I had a lot of olive oil in here and not a lot of brags. I recommend doing like half and half of both, but this one I know I was running down and I put in a bunch of olive oil. There's not enough brags in here, so I'm not able to get this as salty as I would like it. And I know there's people going, oh, salt's really bad for you. That's a whole new video. I don't subscribe to that. I think you need salt. Well, I know you need salt, but like I said, that's a whole different video. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to flavor with some chilies. Okay, paprika powder. But here's the salt that I really like. It's raked sea salt from, I don't know. I don't think I need to use, oh, here we go. From Brittany. Unrefined sea salt from Brittany. I love this stuff. You can get it at Whole Foods. And it's really wet. Right, Jason? Doesn't it look like wet bath salts or something? It does, right? And it's good stuff. And I don't worry about how much salt's in my diet. Okay, paprika. I'm going to throw a bit of this on. Another thing that's really good with this is Mexican chili powder, but I couldn't find it, so I'm just going to use this. And I think we're pretty much done. I'll serve it up into a bowl for you, and then you can try it. I wanted to say, so here's the salad, right? Everybody says you eat a lot of vegetables, how do you get enough protein? So I'll show you. Hemp seed hearts. Here they go. Be generous, throw them on everything. They're really good as they are. You know that, right? You've had them? So I'm just going to toss a bunch in here. And I'm going to plate some for Jason. So I've just added a little bit of protein, but honestly guys, I'm not saying that this should be your full dinner. My whole point today was really just to show you how to quickly make a salad. So there you go. And on top of that, I'm going to add in some more hemp hearts. And you know what? You can do things like walnuts, crumble some walnuts on there. There's lots of things you can do to add protein. Trust me, most of us are not protein deficient. Ta-da! Okay, so I made a bit of a mess here. One of my principles working in the kitchen is you really want to kind of be on top of things. So I'm just cleaning up right now. And I think it's kind of a basic guideline of working in the kitchen, as clean as you go, or clean before you sit down and eat. I just find that works, and it's a way to really enjoy your meal. So I'm just finishing off the last bit of kale here. I'm washing it. And this water here that I use to rinse, you can water your plants with it. I run my carburetor. When it goes down, I just run my carburetor so it cleans it out. But I always try to find a way to use the water. And again, I don't think in terms of things being wasteful, because I'm doing the best I can, and you got to cut yourself a break. And in the summertime, it's really good actually, if you live in a house, to take this water and then just water your plant beds. So these guys go to bed as well in, ta-da. And there's also reusable plastic bags, or not plastic, sorry, reusable produce bags. I could have used that, but I like to use these containers and put my stuff away like that. So it's pretty easy, so come and look inside my fridge. So this is kind of how I have it laid out. You see, I have these little beds, and for the rest of the week, or at least for the next couple of days, these are ready to grab and go, and that's it.